Good evening. Welcome to Journey to Become Wealthy. My name is Kelvin Reed, and today is day 61. I don't know how I let it slip my mind yesterday. Yesterday was day 60 on Journey to Become Wealthy. We have officially been doing this thing for 60 days, 2 months, I guess is what you can say. That's if you count on a 30-day span, right? We started in December and we made it to January. Today, the market ran up. It was a green day. It was beautiful. Hopefully, some of you made some money. I made a couple recommendations on last night, and if you caught the video, you should have made a little bit of money, if not a lot of money, depending on how you played it. So, before we get into it, can you guys please take a moment, like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get notifications when videos are posted. So, let's get into it. We're going to start by our regular routine, right? Let's check out the markets. Let's see what they're doing today. So we had the S&P 500 up 1.80%, the Dow Jones up 1.14%, and the NASDAQ up 3.41%. Today, on Friday, these markets have run up pretty much, very much similar, right? So we got 2 days in a row with big run-ups. I mean, no longer flat. We've been seeing it flat, down market for the past 2 or 3 weeks. People are saying this is the worst month since March 2020. So January was rough for a lot of people. They were saying January was pretty much hectic, right? But you guys know, we talked about, we were going into a market correction. We were going into a crash. We were down 10 to 15% on some of these indexes. And it's just been crazy. But it's looking good, at least right now it is. We're making some comebacks in some of these. And again, this 3%, this 1.14, and this 1.8% may be small change to the 10-15% drops that we saw. However, if you guys have been listening to me, you have been buying low and selling high, waiting on this moment for things to shoot back up so you can take advantage of the gains, right? We got the Hang Seng here up 1.07%, and we have the Russell up a major 3%. So we've been looking at, right, we've been looking at the month. Look at this thing. The Russell was down 16% for the month. It's now down 10%. Still in a correction. However, it's making some returns. So we gotta pay attention to that, right? We gotta pay attention to that. So don't let that slip you out of mind. Let's see what the SPY over the month, right? We have been seeing this stuff over the month. The SPY was down 9.2%, almost in that correction territory, but now it's come all the way back up to only being down 5% on the month. Only being down 5% on the month. The Dow, we gotta hit each one of these, right? We want to make sure we pretty much covering all our bases. We want to make sure we cover all our bases when checking this out, so we know if we're out of this thing yet. The Dow came down as low as 6.02%. Now it's back up to only down 3%. And the last one, our NASDAQ. We know our NASDAQ was beat down pretty hard, just like our Russell 2000. Our NASDAQ was down 15%. Correction territory, almost crash territory. And now we're only down 9.54%. So I'm not sure if it's safe to say yet that we're out of this thing. I mean, we're still down pretty hot, pretty heavy compared to previous years. It's been said that January was the worst month since March 2020. However, if you guys been paying attention, you were able to make some money. So, I mean, whether it was on the way down or the way up, we've been able to make some money and kind of hold ourselves steady throughout this past couple months and how things have been going, especially with all the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt going around and everything else. We've been able to hold our own and just kind of weather the storms, right? But let me the news that I got to talk about, right? We were talking about the charge point in NIO last night, right? I think many of you might have saw my video. You saw my recommendation for those two as of last night, based on NIO had some news coming, especially knowing that we knew that NIO was dropping the ET5 and production. And we also knew that ChargePoint just kind of being associated with those EV companies that they might have a run up. So today it did not surprise us. I mean, these things ran up. They look good for us. And if you got in there, if you didn't, if you're a long time holder, hopefully you've been averaging down, dollar cost averaging into these plays, you should have seen some money, right? You should have made some money. So that's what we're hoping to see, right? That's what we're hoping for. So right now, what I'm pulling up on the screen is I'm gonna pull up a screenshot of some of the news articles that I got for you guys today to kind of support what was discussed last night as far as NIO and ChargePoint. Matter of fact, while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and check out our stock market heat map, right? So our heat map, pretty bright red, right? bright green. I'm sorry, pretty bright green colors. I mean, we're pretty much good throughout the market. This very similar to what we saw on Friday. So we see companies like Apple steady making a run at 174. It came all the way down to 160 last week. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of that when I was mentioning that. Apple, we already knew those in our price range. PayPal's back up 5%. Facebook's back up 3.83%. I mean, we bought this at $300. I told you guys when I got excited when it got under $300. I was spending money that I hadn't yet put into my account. I was so excited to see this thing down. Netflix, we saw Netflix drop 10% overnight based on its earnings. And look at this thing. It's back up 11% on today after also seeing an update on Friday. So it's pretty much gained everything that gained, majority of what it lost this past week back. So that's definitely good news. Even Disney up 3.13%. Let's check out some of our financials, our banking plays, right? We know we were looking at Wells Fargo. It's down 0.72% on today. However, it's been doing good for the past week. It's made it to our buy range the past week of under $50, and now it's above that again. We got Bank of America up 0.59%. Let's check out Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs up 2.21%, and Morgan Stanley up 0.73%. And you guys know I'm not recommending any of these. I'm just letting you know these are some of the companies that I think are good buys and alternatives for each other, right? You know, we pick either Wells Fargo or Bank of America, or we pick Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. Whichever one you feel like has the best news, or you feel like you want to invest in. Maybe you bank with one or the other and you want to own a piece of that company, right? So those are the type of things we're trying to do. Healthcare, Pfizer back down 3%, hanging out in that $51 to $56 range. Johnson & Johnson, again, I told you guys, I don't think I'm gonna hop into the healthcare. I'm still pretty skeptic about it. Of course, I'm not gonna deter you guys from doing it. If you guys see a good opportunity, if you feel like you want to be in healthcare for the long term, I don't. But hey, we did some of the due diligence on some of these things, right? We took a look at them. You guys have the facts. Tesla up 10% today. Man, I wish it had came down a little lower. I should have got in there, right? I could have got a piece of that. As a matter of fact, let's check that out. We're not going to jump too much back and forth. We're going to wait until I show you guys the news on NIO and ChargePoint. We'll get Tesla in the next video. JD.com up 7.99%. Baba up 9.16%. Amazon up 3.89%. I mean, you guys, we saw great buying opportunities over the past couple weeks where these things were down red, and that's not to say they won't come back down to those levels. However, these are the days where you see the benefits, right? If you were down and you bought this thing at the low point and it ran up 10% today, you put $1,000 in there. If you were looking to make 10%, you just made your 10%. You could have got out, waited on it to come back down again, or just held long and hopefully see even more growth, because again, this isn't even half as high as Tesla can run, right? We know Tesla has a lot of growth potential, and many of these other companies have the similar growth potential because they come down so low. Remember, you guys got to remember my analogy. I tell you, this is our opportunity to buy the wealth of the past, buy that $20,000 house and hold it until it's worth $120,000, until it's 5 times its value. Let's check out Consumer Defensive. Walmart up 1.67%. Pretty good. Costco up 2.58%. I think Walmart is actually a pretty good buy at this price. I would have liked it under 130, I think is what I looked at it. I did a quick look at it. I think I would have liked it under 130. But still a good company. It's a solid company, especially for the long term. I would not swing that. That would be when I'll be long term investing and putting it in a similar category with my banks, right? My financials to hold long term and just continue to build those. Energy's looking good. It's not down. It's pretty much flat. Looks like all around. ExxonMobil, we already know it's been running. So to see it, maybe it'll cool down soon to give some of us an opportunity to get into it. I'll be sure to look into it enough and see us a good entry price. Or maybe we just want to get in and buy a piece of the pie and wait for this thing to run up this year, seeing that we still have predictions of a bear market. That prediction's still out there, right? We know we've been seeing 2 green days, so don't let that thing slide by us, right? Don't let the hedge funds or the markets fool us, and now we get caught holding the bag. We want to be aware and want to keep eyes on everything. Make sure you guys are using your trailing stop losses at whatever percentage you're willing to lose, or keep in profit. So you guys make sure you're using those things. Utilities are up. Basic materials look like they're pretty up. The market's just looking beautiful. Crypto back up. Bitcoin up 3.87%. Ethereum up 7.01%. You guys don't know I'm kicking myself in the butt for not getting Ethereum under $2,300. Like I said I would. Again, I had spent my extra spending money in some of these other companies. However, I should have definitely been buying a larger piece of Ethereum. If it comes back down, I'll buy more. Hey, I may even consider dollar cost averaging in at this under the $3,000 price range. But that's just me. I want you guys to make sure you get it as low as possible, because of course I told you guys my average currently is $2,200 on Ethereum, so I'm gaining, right? If I decide to buy more, I may put myself in a position where I'm no longer in the green. I'll be in the negative, but I'm willing to hold this thing long term if that happens. I'm willing to hold Ethereum because I know it is a long term company. I know that many of these small market cap NFTs and cryptos are based on the Ethereum blockchain. So let's talk about Mana, up 8.83%. Again, we talked about buying it last week. Sandbox up 6.40%. Man, definitely good news coming behind that. I think if Snoop Dogg gets out here and promotes this one even more, we know that I think there has been rumors that he's hosting the Super Bowl. So that thing could definitely run up even more. That's good news, right? That news is going to follow him. Sandbox is going to follow him. Especially when he's kind of like the face of the Sandbox coin, right? We have Crypto.com up 4.48%. We have Doge up 2.92%. We have Shiba Inu up 4.42%. And Luna up 16.58%. It's running all the way back up, guys. Hopefully you guys have been averaging in or averaging, just continuing to dollar cost averaging to any of these cryptos or NFTs or DeFi coins if you guys got into them. And that's really how we're going to continue to build our wealth, right? We bring our averages down as low as possible, so when the pop happens, even the earliest pop, we start to see profit. And then the larger that pop goes, the more profit we see in the end. So let me open my phone up for this thing. And let's check out this NIO news, right? Let's check out the news for NIO and ChargePoint. So this is the news for ChargePoint. Monday, top analyst upgrades and downgrades. And we see we have ChargePoint here, right? The futures were mixed on Monday as we look to close out the worst month for the stock market since March of 2020. The risk-on traders finally got a rally to hold after another big dip early on Friday that actually put the S&P 500 in correction territory, reversed to the upside, and all the major indexes closed with solid gains. That included a 3.1% gain by the NASDAQ. We just got through talking about this, which has been hammered in January. The Treasury market saw selling across the curve, and yields dropped as some of the action could have been month end. And let's go ahead and click on this article. We'll go to the full article, right? I'll let it go to the full article. This could have been month end portfolio moves, right? So I'm gonna go back, and this is the main piece, right? ChargePoint Holdings. JP Morgan upgraded the stock from neutral to overweight with a $20 price target. We know this thing is currently sitting at about $12.30. $20 price target. The consensus target is up at $31. I mean, that's the median, right? You're seeing more than 100% gains right now. Friday's final trade was for $12.65 a share after they shot up 11% on the day. They shot up 11% on Friday, and I think they gave us another 6% on today. So that's great news for ChargePoint, right? They've been upgraded to a buy. They upgraded what they thought what the company was worth. Again, EVs, charging companies, is necessary, necessary, and this thing is pretty much gaining a monopoly on that market. So that's something we got to keep in mind. Next, we got NIO. So NIO rolls first ET5 validation prototypes off assembly line, makes moves to enter Danish market in 2022. NIO is constantly expanding, and I think that the people are loving this. I think they're loving the news that they are expanding, that they are really investing in their company, and that they're trying to move. So they recently shared those images of the production line verification prototypes of this upcoming ET5 sedan that recently rolled out at its facility in Hefei. Excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. I don't know. I've never heard it before. The ET5 will arrive this fall, beginning in China, although it should eventually see other markets as well. One of those markets could be Denmark. Man, they are expanding. I don't know if I told you guys this a couple months ago. They even had job positions being posted in the U.S., which means that they're trying to expand even as far as the U.S. and other countries. I mean, these people I think they're going to eventually be just as big as Tesla. And that's what I'm banging on, right? That's why I'm continuing to dollar cost average in and continue to hold long on these companies, because I believe that their value is going to increase. Another thing, NIO Inc. shares rise 17.7% on convertible senior notes repurchase. Shares of NIO Inc. rose 17.7% on today to $24.62 Monday after the electric vehicle manufacturer said it's completed its previously announced repurchase right offer relating to its 4.5% convertible senior notes due 2024. This basically means that the company is turning their debt into equity, meaning that they can invest that money into the company, meaning that they made more company, they're becoming even more profitable, and they believe in themselves, they're investing more into themselves. A company that is willing to invest in itself is a company that believes in what it has going on, right? We know this. So if they thought that they were ready to bottom out, why would they invest in themselves, right? If there was any good news, any bad news, or anything that could negatively affect the company, you will see like many of these other companies where their share owners or their VPs and the CEO was actually selling all of their shares and getting out of what they owned in the company. They were selling all their shares before things came down. NIO is doing the exact opposite. They're betting on themselves, and that's what we like to see. All right, any company that thinks they can bet on themselves is a company that we want to bet in as well, especially at these prices. It's especially under the $20 range. Especially under the $20 range, because I thought this was a good buy back when it was $40, $50. Many people may have bought it at $60, and that was when it was at its peak. They thought it was worth it at $60, and they were buying it. And now it's come down to $20. They've sold it, trying to get out of it, thinking that it's going to continue to be a falling knife. And we never know, right? Because I told you guys, we can expect another 10% drop in most of these indexes, and that could still happen. But as of right now, things are looking good, and we want to take advantage of this run up as much as possible. Hopefully on today, since Tuesdays are traditionally another green day, right? But we saw a green day on Friday and we saw a green day on Monday, both days which can tend to be mixed or down days. We saw green days on both of those days. So this may be a signal that tomorrow could fall. However, we're going to hope for the best. I cannot really, it's kind of hard to read these markets, right? It's kind of hard to see what's going to happen next. So as far as for me, I think I'm going to continue to watch things until about Wednesday, because we also have some major earnings coming this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. So I think I'm going to watch the market, see what happens to it until about Thursday. And I guess Thursday or Friday, maybe we can make some options plays. We can see how this thing is moving. We can do some options, some calls or some puts, depending on which way the market's moving. And let's just try and make some money, right? I bought, of course, you guys already know I'm in NIO 200 shares. I'm in ChargePoint 200 shares. So that's just what I'm doing. Hopefully, maybe some of you guys, I've already got plenty of texts about other people who got in this morning based on what I told them. So, and they've already up a few percent, making some money. So again, I'm not advising you guys to buy what I'm buying, but I'm just kind of letting you guys know how I get out here and do my research and how I feel about some of these companies, some companies that I'm invested in. So hopefully you guys made some money today. Hopefully y'all had a good day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.